Earth is often called the blue planet. From space, most of its surface appears to be covered by vast oceans. But in reality, about 97% of that water is seawater. Only a tiny fraction is freshwater that humans can use directly. What's more, much of that freshwater is locked away in glaciers or deep underground. It is estimated that only about 0.01% of all the water on Earth is readily accessible for human use. Meanwhile, the world's population continues to grow. Cities are expanding. Climate change is increasing the frequency of severe droughts. As a result, water scarcity is becoming one of the greatest resource challenges of the 21st century. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the Middle East. Countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates receive very little rainfall and have almost no permanent rivers. And yet, despite these harsh conditions, they have built massive cities, thriving industries, and support populations of tens of millions of people. So, where does all that water come from? The answer is the sea. By converting seawater into fresh water through desalination. And at the heart of many of the world's largest desalination plants is a technology in which Japanese companies hold a leading global market share: reverse osmosis membranes, or RO membranes. A battle taking place on a scale smaller than 1 nanometer is now helping sustain millions of lives around the world. How can a simple membrane turn seawater into drinking water? At first glance, it seems almost impossible. How can seawater become drinking water simply by passing through a membrane? Imagine an ordinary filter. It can remove sand and dirt. High-performance filters can even trap bacteria. But salt is different. Salt is dissolved in water. That means ordinary filtration cannot remove it. This is where the natural phenomenon of osmosis comes into play. If saltwater and freshwater are separated by a special membrane, water naturally flows from the freshwater side toward the saltwater side in an attempt to equalize concentrations. That process is called osmosis. Reverse osmosis does exactly the opposite. By applying extremely high pressure to the seawater side, the natural flow is reversed. Only water molecules are forced through the membrane, leaving most dissolved salts and impurities behind. In simple terms, seawater to high pressure to only water molecules pass to freshwater. But the most astonishing part lies in the membrane itself. The active layer of an RO membrane operates on a scale of roughly 0.1 to 0.6 nanometers. A nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter. That's more than 100,000 times thinner than a human hair. Within this incredibly tiny space, the membrane selectively allows water molecules to pass while blocking sodium ions, chloride ions, and many other dissolved substances. In other words, an RO membrane is an ultra-precise molecular filter. The core technology, Japan's mastery of precision manufacturing. One important point is that an RO membrane is not simply a thin sheet of film. If it were only a single, fragile layer, it would rupture the moment high pressure was applied. Desalination plants operate under pressures reaching dozens of atmospheres. To withstand such conditions, RO membranes are built with multiple layers. There is an ultra-thin separation layer that performs the filtration. A support layer reinforces that delicate film. Additional structural layers protect the entire membrane. This sophisticated multi-layer design allows the membrane to achieve both exceptional filtration performance and remarkable durability. But the innovation doesn't stop there. Inside a desalination plant, an enormous membrane surface area must fit into a compact space. To achieve this, the membrane is rolled into tightly packed, spiral-wound modules. If fully unrolled, a single membrane element could cover an area comparable to several tennis courts, yet it fits neatly inside a cylindrical housing. This is exactly the kind of precision engineering at which Japanese manufacturers excel. For decades, Japanese companies have continuously improved membrane technology. In the early days, desalination consumed tremendous amounts of electricity, but advances in membrane performance have reduced the pressure required, significantly lowering energy consumption and operating costs. Companies such as Toray and Nitto are now recognized among the global leaders in this field. By improving RO membranes, they have steadily reduced the cost of producing fresh water itself. Global impact. Today, RO membranes made by Japanese companies are widely used in desalination plants across the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar. In many of these countries, daily life depends heavily on desalinated seawater. That means RO membranes are helping provide water for millions of people. Interestingly, this has also created a new form of partnership between Japan and the Middle East. Japan depends on the region for energy resources. The Middle East depends on advanced water technologies. One side exports oil, the other exports solutions for producing fresh water. But desalination is only one application. RO membranes are also used for wastewater recycling, industrial water treatment, ultra-pure water production for semiconductor manufacturing, pharmaceutical production, and food processing. Their role extends across countless industries, and as climate change makes water shortages more severe, the importance of this technology is expected to grow even further. Conclusion. The world of RO membranes is so small that it is invisible to the naked eye, yet its impact is enormous. It turns seawater into drinking water. It enables wastewater to be recycled. It helps conserve and circulate one of humanity's most precious resources. All of this is made possible by technology operating on a scale of less than 1 nanometer. And today, on the front lines of producing that water, Japanese companies continue to support communities across the globe.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Deep Focus Japan for more videos on Japanese society and current issues.